Yo, what is good, beautiful people listening to us wherever you're at? We appreciate you. It's the Devine boys, Devine brothers. We are here. It's live. It's Wednesday, May 28th. The San Diego Padres have played 54 games of baseball this season. They are exactly 1/3 of the way through the season. And you know what? We were gonna do a podcast on Sunday, but we said, why don't we just wait a week or wait a series and give you a 1/3 of the season report card. You got your two teachers here, Matt and Mike Devine. You want to get that check in. It's like it's midterms right now. We're on trimesters, and we got to see where this team is at. Mike Devine, before we get into it, how we living, Pops?
Living good, man. Living good. Doing the show from the new crib, sitting on the floor. So
congrats,
excited to shoot the shit about the pods and talk about what we've seen the last. I mean, I don't think have we done this. Might be our first episode in the last like 10 days.
It's been a minute. We apologize about that. We'll get back on the old grind set. Mies was moving. We had some moving parts, but guess what? We're back. And that's all that matters. We got a lot of love from the people on, throughout social media and, when we run into people in the streets. A lot of love for the DSG, and we appreciate everybody. But let's talk a little Padres baseball. That's why you're here. That's why you want to hang with us on your, Wednesday night. Beautiful night up here in the Bay. Pods are going to be in town starting Monday. My birthday's on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about this last series. Let's talk about the last couple weeks. So Padres lose today 10-8 to the Miami Marlins. We're winning 6-1. Kyle home run Hart gives up a lot of nukes, man. Let's just be honest. I have nothing against the guy, but he gives up a lot of nukes. He gave up that homer to Agustin Ramirez today. He didn't even look where the ball went, bro. Right when the ball went off the bat, he was just asked the umpire for another ball. So Kyle Hart gives up a couple nukes, and then David Morgan, aka Sailing with Phoenix, like Mike calls him. Demo 6'6".
That's a good one by me, by the way.
Fantastic. This dude, David Morgan, has filthy shit. Unfortunately, threw a fucking 97-mile-per-hour cock shot, and Otto Lopez from Rocket Power hits a 3-run homer. 6-6. We give up a run. Make it 7-6. Everybody's like, shit, we just blew that. 2 outs. Luis arises on first. It's like the 7th inning. And fucking Gavin Sheets, dude. Derry Bonds hits an absolute nuke job, pimps the shit out of it. And I'm like, dude, we're going to sweep these guys. The momentum's insane right now. Got the Pirates without Paul Skeens coming into town. Like, sweep against the Marlins, 1-5 of 6. Like, vibes are rolling. Jason Adam, who's obviously the rainbow, he's been absolutely insane for us. Incredible. Did not have it today at all. Pegs Connor Norby, thought he went headhunting. Thought Connor Norby was out for the season. Thankfully, he's all right. Pegs Connor Norby, ground ball to Manny. Manny kind of fumbles it, first and second. No outs. They bring in Juan Decimo. Everybody thought it was going to be Morejon. Bring in Juan Decimo. Juan Decimo actually gets a ground ball to turn a double play. We're legitimately maybe a foot away from getting out of that inning. And obviously it doesn't happen. The big issue with Wandy, he walks the 9 guy. Ramirez, who owned us all season or all series, hits that ball. They end up winning the game. So that was a good example of kind of where this team's been at the last 2 weeks, Mike. And then I'll let you kind of get into it. We've kind of been on a little bit of a teeter-totter. You could tell that this team has the talent to be extremely successful. Extremely. I honestly think they have the talent with a couple moves to possibly win a World Series this year. That being said, I also think if you don't make the right moves and, some of these guys who were, relying on don't show up for whatever reason, we could also not make the playoffs. This is a very wide spectrum. This isn't a team that I'm like, this team is for sure locked into making the playoffs. But I also don't think this is a team where I'm like, there's no shot they win a World Series. This is a very 1/3 of the way into the season. I'm impressed with this squad, but there's some holes. Mike, I want you to kind of
go. 100%. I agree. I mean, the way to look at it, right, is they're on pace for 93 wins. They're a third of the way through the season. They're 8 games above 500. They do that 3 more times. or 24 games above 500. They're 93 and 69. That's quick maths for the people at home, right? Some of us can do it. Okay, some of us can do it. I saw something from Joseph in the chat.
Let me see.
Manny lost us, and I want to get into this right off the bat. Manny lost us that game. Anybody who says Wandy lost the game doesn't know ball. I'm sick and tired. And my co-host on this show does it all the time.
Here we go. Okay, we're getting into this early. All right, here we go.
I'm sick and tired of people acting like Manny Machado is not that guy. Joseph, I give you that you put 33rd baseman out there. Whoever's starting today, all 33rd basemen.
All 33rd basemen?
All 33rd basemen, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. You know what I mean.
All 33 third basemen.
All 33?
All 30 third basemen.
That's what I said.
You go.
That's what I said.
No, you said it differently, but it's all good.
My bad. That's a hard play to make. I don't know where, and you can make your, he makes a lot of money. Listen, people, that's a tough play to make. You know what listen.
You are for calling me a Manny hater. You are the biggest Manny glazer of all time.
Because
he has 10 errors. He has 10 errors. Hey, he can make Manny Machado is an incredible defensive player, but if you ask him right now, you would say, yeah, my defense hasn't been great this season. You have 10 errors.
I'm just saying I'm saying that is a tough play to make. If you're pinning that on Manny Machado, they were up 6-1. You're pinning that on Manny Machado. How about we pin it on Kyle Hart for giving up a bunch of nukes? How about we give it up on David Morgan for giving up a cock shot fastball down the middle to the 3-hitter? It's not on Manny Machado. It's not on Manny Machado, guys. And we have to readjust our expectations, because you want to know who would be playing third base right now without Manny Machado if he went down? Tyler Wade. And I love T. Wade. He's a great
He would have made that play.
No, he would not have.
Yeah.
That's a hard baseball play. Baseball play.
Hey, man, I completely agree.
There's some places to redirect the frustration, though.
All right, let's hear it.
There's a guy who's been skating by, skating by.
And I kind of want to talk about
it. And the streets are starting to turn on him a little bit. And I'm a part of the streets. Fernando Tatis Jr. has to wake up, man.
Yeah, he's been objectively bad since May 1st. I think he's batting like 194.
Was it him getting hit on the wrist? Is that what happened?
I don't even know if it's
you can correlate his fall off to that hit by pitch.
It's
but
killer.
At the same time, like, either go on the IL and take a couple days off, or figure it out, because it's hard to watch.
So the argument is, and I completely agree with you, Mike, on the Manny Machado thing. Obviously, Manny has 10 errors, but Manny's also been our best player this season, 100%. He is the reason why we have won a lot of games. And yeah, today, right? Would we have loved him to make the play? Yeah. But if Wandy doesn't walk that fucking 9 guy who has a 285 OPS, probably win that game. A lot of people to blame the game on. Whatever. Manny won us a game in Atlanta literally 2 days ago, so it doesn't really matter. Tatis is concerning right now. I'll be completely honest. The argument was, if you would have asked us, a quarter of the way to the season, I'm like, I think Tatis is going to win the MVP. He sometimes looks extremely checked out, man. Someone says his dad had been hospitalized, so his head might be somewhere else. If it's about the Rottweiler thing, I heard his dad's fine, but I think with Tati, it's simple, right? We haven't seen Tatis play a full season of Major League Baseball, right? We haven't seen him play, 162. We've seen Tatis in spurts be the best player in baseball. I would love to see a little bit more consistency. I would love if his slumps were, he batted 240 and got on base and walked. My biggest issue with Tatis is when he doesn't walk. You could tell his ABs. You're like, dude, it's just like something's not clicking. I don't know if it's personal or what. Do you think? Oh, this is a good question for the chat too. What do you think Tatis is now as a player? We've seen him have X amount of play X amount of games post suspension, right? And if you look at his stats, he's like an 860 OPS guy. Before, he was like a 1000 OPS guy. Where do you think Tatis is legitimately as a player? Because if you start looking at him as a player and you start looking at what do you think an average Tatis season going forward is going to be, If it's 880 OPS, then he's having a solid ass season. If we assume he's going to be a 980 OPS or like a 1100 OPS guy, then I just don't think he's that guy. I think he's extremely, extremely streaky, and he gets in his head, and he'll have a 2-week stretch where he sucks, and then he'll have a 2-week stretch where he looks like fucking the best player in baseball.
I think that's his not downfall, but the issue with Toddy is that and this seems like it kind of happens with a lot of players on this team, right? When one of the chips don't fall their way, they kind of crumble. Like they start to crumble a little bit, and they're missing like the one thing about Pro last year, right, is that when people were slumping and they needed energy, whether it be him, trying to fight the entire Nationals team, it doesn't matter. He figured out ways to spark life into the team. And I know who we're going to bring up, and there's a guy on the team right now that people are, obviously drawing comparisons to in terms of energy and life brought to the team. Probably my favorite pimp job I've seen from a Padre in a long time today. I thought he hit the ball foul. He hit it to right center field for a homer. Gavin Sheets is breathing life into this team. Without Gavin Sheets, without Gavin Sheets and Manny Machado, there is a legitimate possibility that this team is on like a 14-game skid right now.
1,000%. I was going to say third of the season report card, and I guess we can kind of get into that now. MVP of this team, I would say the best player has been Manny, but the true MVP of this team is Gavin Sheets. People forget Mike Devine in the offseason said Gavin Sheets isn't even going to fucking make the team. And I was like, dude, this guy kind of hit some fucking nukes. Obviously, I also thought that Kyle Hart was going to be nasty. So sometimes you mess up. But
that was my worst take. That was my worst take ever. And I'm very sorry to Gavin Sheets. That's my fault. It takes a lot for somebody to admit that they were wrong, and some of us still try to fight back. And
I admitted I was wrong on that Manny Machado. I literally said in a video
today you kind of brought it back a little bit, but that's
I just said made an error. It's fine. Okay. Gavin Sheets, MVP of the 2025 Padres season on May 28th, 1/3 of the way through the season. He has right now. He's currently has a 833 OPS. He is slugging 509. He has 11 home runs and 34 RBIs, which leads the San Diego Padres. He's 2 home runs behind Fernando Tatis Jr. This dude signed as a minor league free agent. This dude, there is a real opportunity that he wasn't even going to make the opening day roster. And now he is looked at as a core piece to the San Diego Padres team going forward. We haven't had a lefty with power. I guess you could say Soto, but fuck Soto, honestly. I'm always going to dislike Soto now. Seeing how good James Wood is, I'm always going to be a little pissed at Soto, to be completely honest. If you like him, whatever. We've needed a guy like Gavin Sheets, a lefty that hits nukes. What did I say in the offseason, Mike? I said he kind of reminds me a little bit of what Max Muncy was for the Dodgers when he first came over. Mm-hmm. Where you're like, damn, this guy is hitting nukes, came out of nowhere, all this stuff, under control till 2028. Not going to be making a lot of money. We have a lot of bad contracts on this team right now, Mike, especially in that lineup. Gavin Sheets making $1 million. And if he hits us fucking 30 home runs, that is one of the best contracts in baseball. He is insanely similar to 2024 Jurickson profile. Everybody in the chat right now, as much as we love to glaze the 2024 Padres, straight Krispy Kreme, man, that team, we miss Higgy. We miss all these guys. We were so sick last year. That team, me and Mike did a Modelo stream the day after or the day before. No, it was the series after the All-Star break. We did a Modelo stream. Yeah, we were playing the Cleveland Guardians. We lost like 7-0, and we were 50-50. And I'm like, dude, this team kind of fucking blows, honestly. I remember vividly saying that. Tatis was on the IL, and I was like, damn. And then Merrill turned up and started hitting all these eighth inning homers to give us leads. Higgy started hitting nukes, and the ball started rolling. And you know what we said last year, Mike? What did we say about Mike Schilt? What do we call him?
Second half Mikey, baby.
Second half Mikey. Schilt Daddy is a second half manager. So, Mike, if you're a second half manager and you have a GM like AJ Preller who's going to fleece the fuck out of a team if they're not named the Nationals for Juan Soto, and your team is currently 8 games over 500. and have been through a skid, bounced back, would you say you're in a good spot right now?
100% yes.
100%.
This team has glaring issues. They have glaring issues, right? But as I mentioned to you, every issue they have is solvable. Every issue is solvable when you think about it. What issues do they have? They lack at the catcher position, and they lack.
We lack slug, yo.
We lack slug and probably a left fielder. I'm telling you, there's one guy to go out and get. Ryan O'Hearn, dude.
I'm O'Horny for O'Hearn, bro.
Yeah, we're O'Hearny. He's sick, and I think he's on an expiring contract. Maybe fact check me if I'm wrong, but dude, Orioles aren't doing shit. You know what the Orioles need? Prospects, right? Mike Elias made probably the worst trade of all time for Trevor Rogers, for Connor Norby, and Kyle Stowers, and it backfired big time.
Yeah.
So guess what? Let's do it again. Let's fleece him. Let's fleece him. This guy's a dumbass. He knows his job's on the line. He's going to try to get prospects to keep his job alive. Here's Cobb Hightower. Enjoy.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm looking at Ryan O'Hearn's stats right now. He's 31 years old. So if you're the Baltimore Orioles and you think you low-key kind of bricked your window, right? This is the kind of guy you trade. He's having the best season of his career right now. But the argument is he's had a pretty solid career. Kansas City, he got DFA'd, I'm pretty sure, wasn't good there. Since coming to Baltimore, every year he's had a positive WAR of 1 or greater. 2023, 1.2, 2024, 2.0. 2025, Ryan O'Hearn in 45 games has the highest career WAR in a season that he's ever had. So, are we buying high? Maybe, but imagine you put Ryan O'Hearn in left field for this team right now. A guy that has 9 home runs this season. How many home runs does our left field position have this season, Mike? With Jason Hayward, Brandon Lockridge, I guess you could say like T Wade. So 3 guys.
You're not going to count Gavin Sheets after his second start and left today?
Okay. Well, if you fucking count Gavin Sheets, it kills my argument.
I'm joking. Nothing. This team has nothing. We don't have any slug. We have 2 guys above 10 homers. We have 2 guys. Manny, is he at 6 or 7 now?
He's at 6.
He's at 6. Merrill's at 5.
Well, Merrill would be over if he wasn't hurt. I truly believe in that.
I agree.
Oh, Mies is kind of becoming a little bit of a Merrill hater. You're giving me shit about hating on Manny. I saw that face. I know what that face is.
I'm not a hater. I just think I need this team to not slump together, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Tatis is going to lead off the game with one of the worst at-bats you'll ever see in your life. And then Arise is going to pop out to left because he swings at every pitch. And then Manny is probably going to walk or ground out. And then Merrill's going to come up and swing at some bullshit. We need somebody to stand up and be like, dude, let's fucking fix our at-bats. Hey, mate, you know how you score runs? You get guys on base.
You walk,
right?
bro.
If you're not hitting a lot of homers, you have to get guys on base. And then the homers are going to come. You know why? Because they can't walk you. They can't pitch around you if there's guys on base. That's when the ball's hanging slider, hanging curveball, and you hit a home run. They're not playing good enough actual baseball, right? We were watching the game last Saturday at your place, and situation, I think it was 3-1 maybe, first and second, 3-1. Xander Bogaerts comes up. You are a big proponent. You're like, this guy's not going to bunt. He's making $25 million. I get it, but fuck that. Like, you're not going to win that baseball game expecting Xander to hit a 3-run home run. We know who this guy is. Lay down a fucking bunt, play situational baseball, and then try to have Gavin Sheets come through next. That's how you have to win games. Like, enough of this. I can't. My fear with this team, right, is that it's very, very ego-driven.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Very ego-driven. When you're not doing bad, you are down in the dumps. Right? Even last night, and this is something I saw, I'm not sure, was it last night they did the walk-off? No, 2 nights ago. Walk-off wild pitch?
Yeah.
2 nights ago. They didn't seem that juiced. Tatis was trotting out there like it didn't matter. I'm like, buddy, they just won the game. How about you get a little bit excited? Like, I need these guys to actually care about their teammates. It seems like some individual driven people. And that's why, right? There's got to be a fix. I don't know who it is. I don't know, man. I'm you
got to bring in Tommy Pham, baby. You got to bring in Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham's the winner.
Right now, I feel really good about where the team's at, but it does seem pretty ego driven. I'm not gonna lie. It's team. And honestly, we might have to accept that. It might always be the case.
I was gonna say that too. So it is funny, right? I think Tatis is a perfect example. Fernando Tatis Jr. If me and my if me and my fiance get another cat, I've already told her we're naming it Fernando Tatis Jr. That's how big of a fucking fan I am for this guy. I love Nando, nickname Nando. Love this dude. That being said, sometimes you're watching him play, you're like, bro, does this fucking guy, does he even want to be there right now? I'm like, he looks like he is so down in the dumps. And I have no idea if it's personal shit. That being said, Mike, do you go through personal stuff?
Of course.
Do you go to work and are you fucking just like down in the dumps every fucking day on your cold calls?
I sure do.
On your discovery calls?
I sure do. And you know what, though? I'm not getting paid $350 million to do it.
No, but you're not. I'm saying there's a level of, and this isn't just Toddy. It happens, man. But I kind of want to see a little bit more of like Tatis. Sometimes I think Tatis is a little bit of a front runner when it comes to when he's balling. It's like it's the most fun show on earth. When he's struggling a little bit, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, which is fine. But then sometimes I'm like, dude, you gotta kind of pick it up. Since May, he's batting 190 with a couple occasional like solo shots. Obviously, that walk-off was big. So the month of May, he bats, and thankfully, it's only been the month of May. He's still a awesome.
He's having a good year.
He's probably gonna be an all-star. But with Toddy, I think the issue with Toddy sometimes is we know what he can be, and I really think mentally, and I do believe one of these seasons, he's still young, dude. He's still 26 years old. Manny's still playing at a fucking like starting all-star level at 31. Tatis is 5 years younger. Tatis will figure it out. We saw what Tatis can do in the playoffs. It's not like he's this guy who can't handle pressure. I think sometimes it's tough for Toddy for an entire, season to keep it at that level, right? But like you said, Mike, it's the ebbs and flows, bro. It's the ebbs and flows. And when you're down, you need someone to bring you up. Is that Tyler Wade? Is that Gavin Sheets? Is that, fucking Mike Schilt, Ruben Nieva, whoever picks these guys up? We were literally an Eli White base running away from honestly being almost on a 10-game losing streak. Good teams don't lose eight games in a row. They just don't. You might get swept every now and then. You might get swept, and that's baseball. But good teams don't have extended losing streaks, in my opinion. The Padres, if we did this podcast last week, which we almost did, sometimes you got to fucking sometimes you got to let it rip. You're like, man, dude, these guys are not playing good. They look like they're down in the dumps. I know Manny is the captain of the team. Who's the dude that you think, closed door, who's coming up and talking to the team? Because I don't think Tatis is that guy. I think Merrill's too young. Manny might be that guy, but I don't think he gives enough of a fuck about everybody else. And not by them as a people. I just mean I don't think he's like, I don't get paid to be a therapist. Hayward. Someone said Jason Hayward.
No fucking shot. If I'm Manny Machado and a guy with the 520 OPS comes up and tries to tell me to play better, I'm going to look and be like, shut the fuck up.
It's like me in high school. That was like me in high school. I'm like, come on, guys. They're like, no, you have no ABs.
Here's my thought, right? Oh, you know who I think would do it?
Who?
There's two guys. Joe Musgrove, he's not playing, so it doesn't count.
I actually like that one.
There's one wise man on this team that everybody will listen to. Farid Yu Darvish, baby. Yu Darvish saying something that goes. If Yu Darvish says, guys, let's buck up, let's figure it out, the team is going to listen. That's like he's like the godfather of the MLB. He's a respected cat.
I respect that take. I respect that take. My issue is he ever going to fucking play? Is he ever going to fucking play? Him and Joe Musgrove make a lot of money to be the wise man. Motherfucker, we could be paying Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has enough fucking innings. Paul Heyman has the same amount of innings for the Padres this year as Joe Musgrove and Yu Darvish combined.
I think Joe Musgrove, or I think Yu Darvish is back this weekend.
You think? I hope so, man. Because guess what, guys?
I heard he's at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport.
Guys, we gave up 20 runs to the fucking Miami Marlins. We pitched Randy Vasquez, Steven Kolick, and Kyle Hart. If we pitch those three against any other MLB team and we don't somehow, if fucking Buddy doesn't get the yips last night and and then today, like, we got so lucky we were playing the Marlins, man. That three of Vasquez, Strandy Vasquez, who has like a 6.19 whip or FIP. You got fucking Kolick, who, Kolick's okay. He's not good, but he's okay. And then fucking Kyle Hart is Kyle Home Run Hart, right? So that's three guys. You put those three against 20 of the MLB teams, you're getting swept. So I pray to the fucking baseball gods that Michael King sleeps on his shoulder better and gets back on the fucking field, and Yu Darvish gets back, because we might not even have to be doing this podcast if those two fucking guys are out, bro. If Mike King is out for an extended period of time, Preller, trade the entire farm not named Leo. Get me a fucking guy that can give me innings that I don't want to blow my fucking brains out watching pitch. So, sorry, I went a little crazy there. But
yeah, I was a little crazy, but I understand the sentiment. I will say, like, I don't know what I was about to say. I lost my train of thought. What I actually was going to say, and it just came back to me, is we got to give Randy Vasquez some flowers, man. Like,
I agree.
Every start he starts, I think to myself, this is the one where it all comes crashing down. The guy has a terrible first inning on Monday, and what does he do? He goes 6. Did he go 6 1/3 strong for 3 runs?
Like Randy Vasquez is, so if you believe in underlying metrics, which unfortunately I believe in, right? It's a perfect example of, like, you see a guy like a Tyler Wade, right? You're like, dude, Tyler Wade has this 900 OPS. Like, maybe he's an all-star. It's like, Tyler Wade's not going to be an all-star, right? He hits the ball like 80 miles per hour. It might find some holes sometimes. Randy Vasquez's underlying metrics are fucking terrible. Like, honestly, insanely bad. And we were hoping he'd get better against lefties. Like, I'm pretty sure the expected OPS against like left-handed hitters have right now is like 950. Somehow, some way, Randy Vasquez, we are almost in June. His next start will be in June. Randy Vasquez has been, in my opinion, the second best pitcher, third best starting pitcher for the San Diego Padres. I'd go Michael King, Nick Pivetta, Randy Vasquez. I'd put him over Dylan Cease. Randy Vasquez has like a 3.8 ERA. Is it
3.5?
3.5 ERA. Is it legit? Probably not. But guess what, Mike?
Yes.
Mike, no. I meant, is this fool's gold? Is it fool's gold with Randy Vasquez? So, and you know what? I want to answer that for you real quick, and then I'll let you cook. Who gives a fuck if it's fool's gold? If this guy ends the season with a 4 ERA and makes every start, I'm buying a Randy Vasquez jersey, dude. You know how valuable those innings are? Those are, if you give me a guy under team control till 2029 or whatever he is, people forget it was Randy Vasquez and Cali B. Pretty sure Cali B's thrown 7 innings for the San Diego Padres. Now he's out for the season with an injury. Randy Vasquez, for whatever, hey, man, he'll have a couple starts where you're like, Jesus, fuck, should this guy even be playing baseball? But what he's done this season, he is a unsung hero / possibly pitching-wise. I would say him and Nick Pivetta MVPs.
I'm with you.
Fucking beast, bro. And he's just eating those innings. Randy, if you give me 6, if you go 6 innings and 3 runs, or 4, maybe not 4, 3 runs every game, you're a legend to me. We don't need any more than that. He's a perfect 5th starter, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I can't, and no disrespect to Kyle Hart, I can't really watch him pitch, bro. It's a tough watch. But besides the point, I don't mind where the starting pitching is at. There is some issues, as we saw today, with a few guys in that bullpen, man.
Oh, yeah.
Juan DFA, baby. You got to get out. You got to cut your losses. He is, or if you're not going to get rid of him, you have to save him for like long relief. The team's getting shellacked.
Yeah.
You cannot pitch him in a high leverage situation. The guy doesn't know how to get the third out of the inning. It's insane. It's like the yips. It's like it's insanity. It's like you cannot get the third out. I don't get it at all. He'll look like great for the first two. And then he comes my least favorite part about Juan Decimo is then he comes back in the next inning and shuts him down. Pitch the same way every single time, my guy. You're facing the 9-hitter. Why are you walking him on 5 pitches? He's a rookie. That was that guy's second game of his career.
Yeah,
and you're walking him to face their best hitter.
If you were to say the most important IBs of that game, I would say David Morgan giving up that 3-run nuke to Otto Lopez, which I'm pretty sure he was tipping his pitches because they showed on Twitter. They were like, "Yo, some guy on the guy on second was definitely like giving him some stuff." Wandy, yeah. So they're saying he can't pitch well with guys on. Well, probably should have picked another profession if you're a fucking
Can't be a reliever.
If you are a reliever, also Joseph has 2.34 ERA if you take out the New York game. Yeah, man. If I was better at baseball, I'd be a professional baseball player. Why are we doing this hypothetical shit? The reality is he's not good. We like people I think respect the gospel, and you know who respects the gospel the most? Padres social media. Jesus Christ. Give us a couple fucking free tickets if you're gonna steal every nickname. Padres Twitter. Group, I know you're watching, brother. Group, just give me one field pass one time, bro. As much as I love Devine Dad.
Yeah,
we'll give you all the nicknames you want.
You're being too nice. Stop stealing our shticks. You're stealing every shtick we come up with. Listen, you're getting paid to be on the social media team on the Padres. Maybe come up with an original bit. Or, food for thought, pay us. I won't mind. I'll take an extra check in the bank account.
Yeah, Brandon's correct, bro. All we need, real talk, if you're going to just steal all of our shit, just give us a pass so that we can interview some of these players, bro. Imagine we get fucking Machado on after this, and you got the Mees glazing, and
he's gonna love me. He's gonna be like, "Oh, Mees, what's good? Oh, other guy." That's what he's gonna call you. Other
guy's crazy.
Why do you keep talking shit, other guy? And then Tatis is gonna fight me because I talked negatively about him on this episode.
Tatis can't fight, bro.
Tatis would beat the shit. He would beat the shit out of you. He's 6'4".
No, I'm just saying. I don't think Tatis. He's a lover. He's not a fighter, bro. That's the vibe I get from him. Manny, I'd love. Also, question, and then we'll go back into the bullpen. One of our buddies texted this today. He's like, "I want someone to throw at Manny so we can get Baltimore Manny." Do you think that's still in him?
It's like I'm trying to think of like a good movie analogy, right? It's like where you work so hard to like tame the beast, and then it's like that boiling pressure, and then soon the pot's just going to explode, and then he's going to go crazy. Like he's going to start swinging the bat at somebody, like going nuts. I do think he's matured a lot. I think he was a hothead. But he also, I think, is very cognizant about his reputation and trying to reroute that reputation from being like a dirty player to like one of the vets in the league, always talking to people when they're on third base. Like, and Willie, I actually said this to Matt.
I was going to say this too.
I do think we will have not one, actually. I'm going to go crazy here. Not one, but 2 brawls, not just with the Dodgers. I also think we have one with the San Francisco Giants. I think there's going to be one for each. Tempers are going to flare. Listen, the NL West is the pinnacle of the divisions in baseball. It's going to get heated.
Teams don't like
Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are going to end up making a nice little push, even though they're a little bit under 500. They got the talent. It's going to be a crazy summer, and I think that there's going to be a couple of fights that go on. Diamondbacks don't strike me as a team that has anger in it, but I actually think like the Padres have some legitimate guys that seem angry. Like they seem like actual anger.
Number one guy, if I'm choosing my fighter, if I'm playing Street Fighter and I'm choosing, or like WWE SmackDown versus Raw, Jeremiah Estrada's number one. Jeremiah Estrada would murder a dude, bro.
You know who I was going to go with?
Jerry looks like he would fucking kill a dude, bro. He's homies with all these boxers in the Chella Valley. Like I remember in the offseason, always posted shit. Jerry is, remember when the guy at the NLDS, when the Dodgers fan threw the bottle and Jerry was like, Gavin Sheets looks like a dude that could throw him.
I was going to say, Gavin Sheets is my pick.
Or
Gavin
Yuki.
Sheets strikes me as a guy that would go Gavin smash. And
What if Yuki just goes on some fucking just like straight up like jujitsu shit? He just like goes in fucking just like Yuki versus Ohtani, bro.
It would be the most surprising dude that if you saw him in a fight and he just great point.
Crony seems like a dude. Crony seems like a dude that's like so nice and like low key, but like you just like you say like one thing that pisses him off and he just goes ape shit, bro.
Lorenzo makes a good point about
Sean
our
Reynolds
friend of the program, Sean Reynolds, Skyline.
Fucking
Dude's a unit. He would dog somebody paws.
Who do you think has the most? So obviously, you know, Mookie's doing Xander Bogaerts is like on Mookie's podcast. Or will probably be on Mookie's podcast before the series, right? And they'll be like, "Oh, how's your guys' season going?" All this shit. So I think the fans hate each other a lot more than the teams. Unfortunately, that being said, I do think the Padres have a bitter taste in their mouth after how that happened, and in a weird way, Mike. Padres right now, I think we're like 10-17 against the American League and like 21-7 against the National League. We faced the Giants for 2 games, and then the Rockies are irrelevant. We haven't faced the Diamondbacks. We haven't faced the Dodgers. We face in June, we face the Dodgers for 7 games. We face the Giants for 4 games, and I'm pretty sure we play the D-backs sooner than later. Is it crazy to say I think we kind of need a little fucking NL West blood pumping? Because guess what? We're playing the fucking Tampa Bay Rays. If I'm bored, I bet you a couple of those guys on the team are a little bored. They're like, I don't give a fuck about these guys. You play an NL West team that you're fighting against for a playoff spot, that gets the blood pumping a little bit, bro. It does. You got to. That's why, like, when we play the Phillies or the Mets, you got to fucking, dude. Like, I feel like that gets the blood pumping a little bit. At least as a fan, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for them to be in San Francisco, facing a team that we're fighting for a playoff spot with. Because let's say the Dodgers win the NL West. Let's just be honest. They've won it the last 10 years. Most likely that's going to happen. I don't think it's a foreseen conclusion like I did probably at the beginning of the season, but that's probably what's going to happen. So there's 3 spots. If the Phillies win the East and the Cubs win the Central, there's 3 spots for about 5 teams. The Giants are one of those teams. The D-backs are one of those teams. I would say the Mets, the Braves fucking blow, but they could probably get hot. And then maybe, I don't know, the Brewers or Reds. So there's one team's going to get fucked, and most likely it's going to be 1 or 2 NL West teams. We can't be the team getting fucked.
Yeah. I was still thinking about the brawling scenario, and there's one guy we didn't think of. And he's the guy who I thought was about to actually start the brawl with the Giants. Psycho P. Nicky Pivetta, dude. Pavetta's got anger in him. If you mess with Pivetta, he seems like he's like legit, like American Psycho ready to kill somebody. So, but he's also Canadian. So who knows? Maybe off the field, he's the nicest guy of all time. But on the field, he seems like an angry guy. I just think there's a lot of tension. I don't think the Padres, I think everyone on the Padres hates Max Muncy. So as long as Max Muncy's still on the Dodgers, there will be hatred on that field. Mookie Betts, Freddie, 2 of the nicest guys ever. No one's saying that they're not. But I think there's some real hatred there. I think they hate Will Smith. I think there's guys that they genuinely dislike.
Me too.
And you know what? Maybe it's just because I hate these guys, but still. It's going to be a good – and here's a point to think about. And I know we're almost at 40.
Nah, keep it rolling, bro. I'm going to stay rolling. I got a lot to talk about.
All right. Here's the thing to think about. We have all these division games coming up. You can make the argument that the season is on the line during June.
Yep, I completely agree.
So you have – no left fielder, no catcher. Michael King is down for, I know that they said he might be okay, but he's down. Musgrove's down. Darvish is down right now.
Yeah, that's tough.
And you're about to go into the biggest stretch of the season. I feel like you have to make a move before this stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's, you have to make a move as in like, get rid of Maldonado, get rid of, the guys who shouldn't be on the team, like do that in terms of a move or what? but you have to make a move. Martín Maldonado grades out as the worst offensive and defensive catcher in baseball, and he's 39 years old. What does he bring to the team?
I completely agree. Bring up Brandon Valenzuela. Give me some fresh blood in there, bro. Honestly. Dude, also
somebody who's hungry. Somebody who's
hungry, bro. Even Brett fucking Sullivan would have been better than this shit, bro. Honestly. I think Sully would have at least ran into a few. I know Matt Maldonado ran into a few. Mike, I'm telling you I'm gonna go over the June schedule for you. 4 against the Giants on the road, 3 against the Brewers on the road, Dodgers at home for 3, D-backs on the road for 3, Dodgers on the road for 4, Kansas City Royals, who are a fucking good team, on the road or at home. Then we got the Nationals, who are obviously going to come in trying to beat the fuck out of us because of James Wood, CJ, and then the Reds on the road, and then the Phillies. That's a tough stretch. So if you're AJ Preller, you see this and you're like, hey, we got a couple holes to fix. What are you doing? Chat, I want to hear what you have to say too. If you're AJ Preller and it's May 28th, you have an off day tomorrow, what are you doing? Are you trading? Are you signing? Are you like what? How do you make this team better for this stretch? Because right now we're a good team. There's a legitimate opportunity to establish yourself in the next month as one of the best teams in baseball. And if you suck in June, we might be looking at trading Dylan Cease, trading Arise, trading Michael King, all that stuff. June's the biggest month of Padres baseball in a long ass time. Really. It really is. So get fucking strap up, 1, but 2. These are humongous games. So AJ Preller, how do you make the team better on May 28th for the rest of the season?
I'll tell you right now. I said it at the beginning of the episode. The Orioles are 19-36. They're going to sell. Ryan O'Hearn is a free agent at the end of the year. He is a rental bat. You're either going to – I'd honestly say I get the Orioles are probably going to try to hold out and get the largest offer. If you put Ryan O'Hearn in left field right now with 9 homers and a 340 –
he'd be our best player.
Yeah, he'd be our best player. So, like, why not? You have an off day tomorrow. Hey, Ryan O'Hearn. Hope you got, if your girl's back home, tell her to pack the bags, baby. You're coming to San Diego. Hey, enjoy the flight across country. You're coming to San Diego. I'm packing whoever's bags. Isaiah Lowe, whoever in the farm. Go, like, adios. Like, farm doesn't matter, Matt. Farm doesn't matter. You know what does matter? My eyes when I watch strikeouts. That's what matters. And my eyes are getting sick of it. Okay? In left field, my eyes are getting sick of it.
Mike, I say this every episode of the pod, and I actually genuinely believe it. Every MLB farm system, and Preller's a great scout. Preller, in a month, will have refilled our farm system with new prospects from the MLB draft, right? We seem to have like 15, relievers that are going to – Tyson Neighbors, David Morgan, Francis Pena, Bradley Rodriguez, all these fucking rando dudes that have – if you follow people on Twitter like Giannis and Danny, you're just Clark, you see all their numbers. You're like, these are like the best fucking pitchers of all time. So either they're going to be in our bullpen or every other team in baseball's bullpen absolutely blows dick. Sucks. Everybody else's bullpen sucks. So if I'm the Baltimore Orioles and I'm like, wow, my team blows this year, what can I do? Ryan O'Hearn's not going to re-sign with us, or I don't want to give Ryan O'Hearn a big contract at 31, right? So how would I fucking trade him for someone? AJ Preller should be on the phone tonight and tomorrow, the entire day, saying, how can I get rid of some of my beast bullpen arms? I'd trade Tyson Neighbors. I would genuinely, I'm not joking, I would trade every single person in our farm system not named Leo Dallas DeVries. Obviously, if you're going to trade Salas, I'd rather get a guy like I wouldn't trade Salas for Kyle Stowers, given what they gave up to get him. That would be an all-time fleece for the Marlins. But Cash Mayfield, gone. Boston Bateman, gone. Oh, wow, I'm really going to miss this fucking 18-year-old pitcher, bro. I don't give a fuck about these prospects. Hey, if he ends up being – look at Ryan Weathers. Ryan Weathers is great now. Hey, congrats, Ryan. Still fucking lost. Still lost against us. Guys, and Ryan Weathers is way better than fucking Cash Mayfield and Boston Bateman. Trade them all. We have a shot to win a World Series in the next 3 years. Do everything in your human power to try and win a World Series. Trade every single dude in the farm if you have to, not name Leo. Unless it's a guy that you know is going to be on the team for an expended. Like Leo is a guy like a Jackson Merrill or a James Wood. Every other dude, Ethan Salas included, let him go. I know some people love Ethan Salas. Guys, if we could get a Kyle, maybe not a Kyle Stowers, but if we can get a legit MLB-ready catcher, send it. Salas isn't going to be on this team, or at least producing for this team, till 27, maybe 2028. And he's not going to hit. Like, and I hate to say it, he hasn't shown that he could hit. He's not Agustin Ramirez. He's not. I would trade Salas for Agustin Ramirez right now.
Yeah, they'd never do that. They'd be idiots.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Guys, there's a legitimate opportunity that all these prospects are busts. And if you could trade what's going to be a bust for a good player and the Padres win a World Series, I will not give a flying fuck what any of these dudes do. James Wood will end up being, if he stays healthy, a Hall of Famer. If the Padres would have won a World Series with Juan Soto, it's the greatest trade of all time to me. Of course, we didn't.
I'm gonna give you an interesting trade idea here. Now, one, I'm sold on Ryan O'Hearn. Do what you got to do to get him. Here's a guy, and you'd agree with me. I mean, we have buddies on the Rockies. They're nowhere close to contending.
Hot take.
They need more farm guys, good, controllable farm, top-tier prospects. It's very unlikely. But do you think if you make a really strong offer that they would consider trading Hunter Goodman to be the catcher of the future for the San Diego Padres? Do you think that that's a trade that could happen?
The only reason why I think it can't happen, Mike, you want to be honest? The Rockies don't seem like they seem like the dude in fantasy football who is 2-8 and it's a trade deadline and he has a great player as a wide receiver. He has Justin Jefferson. And you're like, dude, I'm one player away from really winning this league. And he doesn't even look at his fucking trades because he's so tapped out of the league. And you hit him up 5 times. He's like, sorry, bro, I was at work. Deadline pass. That's what they are. They don't care. The Rockies don't care. As much as I'd love to fleece them, they don't care enough to actually trade guys. I genuinely believe that. I honestly think they'd be like, oh, we'll give you all these great prospects for this dude, but you have to do the paperwork to trade him. And I genuinely think the general manager of the Rockies is just probably like, 2 joints down at Red Rocks watching Slightly Stupid or fucking Dylan Francis. And he's like, I'm chilling, bro. Like, honestly, that's the only reason. Hunter Goodman would be absolutely awesome on the Pods. And guys, imagine if, and Elias Diaz came through finally with runners in scoring position. A controllable catcher that's like 25 years old that can hit. Pretty much, imagine an Agustin Ramirez on the Padres, Mike. Imagine he's batting 7th. This team would win a World Series. I'm not even joking. I genuinely believe that. If you could get us a catcher, I would trade anything in the world for a catcher, not named Leo, for a catcher with an 800 OPS that's under team control that could play decent enough defense. We haven't had a catcher since, I guess Higgy last year was great, but that was kind of a fluke. Because Higgy has a 100 worse OPS than Elias Diaz right now, which is absolutely insane. I guess the argument is you believe Ethan Salas could possibly be that. So you don't trade Ethan Salas. But when Ethan Salas is that, we're probably going to be, Manny's going to be 35. Xander's going to be Xander. You look, you're like, all right, we might have missed our window. So why don't you just go all in on your window right now? I just don't get why. Right now, if Mike, imagine we have a shitty June. We end up trading Michael King. We end up trading Dylan Cease. We trade Luis Ariz. Oh, sick. Padres have a top 7 farm now. I don't care. I don't care about the farm, man. Farms suck. Oh, wow, our farm system's amazing.
Sir.
Dude, farms are so overrated. What'd you say?
I regret to inform you, but another James Wood bomb has hit.
All right. Yes. I mean, dude, that was, as we knew, that was going to be the trade that comes back to bite. Let's be honest. And guess what? Where are the Nationals right now, Mike? They're ass. They're still ass. Oh, yeah. They're going to be great in a couple years. No, they're not, dude. They're not. They have no pitching. Guys, they're one Mackenzie Gore injury away from legitimately throwing Trevor Williams as their 2. Trevor Williams, Carl Mountain Ranch guy, great, 32, throws fucking 85 miles per hour. That's all it is.
I actually like that from Kyle. Jesus Rodriguez, we need Jesus. We need Jesus.
I need a guy named either Jesus Sanchez or Jesus fucking Rodriguez. Also, Jesus Rodriguez, that's a memeable name. I'm all in on that.
I love it.
All right. End of the episode. We're gonna call it 50 minutes. We were ripping. We're gonna rip one on Sunday too. This weekend, we're playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're missing Paul Skeens. Pirates have won their last 2 games against the D-backs. It seems like their offense is kind of getting going a little bit. I think we got Pivetta, Cease, and then maybe Randy V. What are you looking for in this series? What are 3 things that you're looking to see out of the pods that will make you feel good about where we're at, kind of heading into June?
Number one, win the series. Number 2, I don't even need results. I don't even need results from Toddy, but I just need to see some better at-bats.
I agree.
Yeah, he showed it today. I thought he took a lot of good pitches that were kind of, low. I felt like he wasn't chasing as much, but I just need to see that like April Tatis, like look for your pitch, and when the pitch is it's your pitch, crush it. Stop trying to do too much. Listen, at his best, he is a top 5 baseball player in the league, and I don't think you
top 3.
I don't think you can debate that.
Top 3.
I agree, but he's streaky. Stop the streaking and just be consistent. If you're not, you don't always have to be a top 3 player in the league. Be a top 15 guy. Look at Manny Machado. Manny Machado's consistently been a top 25 baseball player in baseball for over a decade, right? Yeah. Consistency plays, bro. Consistency. You know what Manny always says? Check the back of my baseball card. That's what you're going to see. He's right. His numbers are always the same. You debated it last week. I predicted going into the week of road games. I said at least 2 homers for Manny. What did he do? 2 homers, and then he hit 1 at home. He has 3 homers in the last 7 days. It's just what he does. That's who he is. Tatis just needs a little bit more consistency. So I'm looking for some consistency. You don't always have to hit the homer. Drive a couple balls in the gap. Think right center. He's too strong to also not power out doubles in the gap.
I agree.
Just look for your pitch.
So that's one. I would say 2 other things I'm looking for. Looking for some depth from our starters. I'm trying to see some good starts, especially Dylan Cease, who I actually do think Dylan Cease the last 4 or 5 starts has looked pretty good. A lot of whiffs. Looks like his stuff's there. Pivetta has been really solid, especially at Petco. I trust when Pavetta's on the mound at Petco, we're going to get that win. Number one thing I really want to see, though, man, just want to see some energy, bro. I just want to see some energy out of these guys. Petco Park sold out every single night, man. And I just really want to see these guys Gavin Sheets today, pimping that homer. More of that shit, bro. Baseball's supposed to be fun. Baseball's not – I know baseball is a job, and I know, 162 is an absolute grind. That being said, the Padres have the best fan base in baseball, sold out every single game. Pirates are coming to town. Pirates play in front of 14 people a day. They're not pitching Paul Skeens. This is the type of series you build momentum. Keep stacking series wins. That's what we said today. Today's loss sucked, right? You know how much more it would have sucked if we lost last night or the night before? We won the series. Check. Win every series. You'll end up making the playoffs. Just win the series. Bullpen, going to be healthier, which is good. Jerry's been awesome. Jason didn't have a great game, but he's been great. Day off for the pen. Should be good. Hopefully this weekend we sweep. If not, have to win it. Have to win series against worse teams because we're about to start playing some good teams. Mies, thank you, brother. Chat, thank you all. Gonna read this comment real quick. Booing Snell. Muncie is fat. Dave not welcome back in SD. Appreciate the donation. Yeah, man. Hey. On pace to win 93 games through 1/3 of the season. If we win 93 games, I think we make the playoffs. I do think we're a second half team. Hopefully King's all right. Go Pods. Any last words, Mike? Or are you good?
No, sir. Shout out chat. Appreciate you.
Right.